She stood in the grocery store, soaked from the rain, holding just $1 and a promise. Can I have this milk? I'll pay you when I grow up. The cashier hesitated, but then a mysterious man stepped forward and said, "Put it on my tab." That moment changed everything. Years later, what the little girl did next shocked the entire nation and turned one act of kindness into a legacy no one could forget. It was a stormy afternoon in downtown Chicago. Rain poured down like tears from the sky, soaking the uneven sidewalks and streaking the windows of a busy corner grocery store. Inside, people were rushing about, trying to finish their shopping and escape the cold. No one paid much attention to the small girl standing by the dairy fridge. She was about 7, dressed in a worn pink hoodie that had clearly seen better days. Her shoes squeaked with every step she took on the wet floor. She looked at the rows of milk cartons longingly, biting her lower lip. In her hand, she clutched a crumpled dollar bill. But the milk she wanted, the one with extra calcium for her little brother, was $2 more than she had. The girl walked up to the cashier, a tall man with glasses and a serious expression. "Excuse me, sir," she said, her voice soft but clear. "Can I please have this milk? I promise to pay when I grow up." The cashier blinked, unsure if he heard right. Customers nearby began to turn, curious. Before he could respond, a voice from the back of the line said, "Put it on my tab." Everyone turned to see a well-dressed man in a navy blue suit. He was in his late 40s, tall with silver streaks in his hair. It was Christopher Dalton, a local real estate tycoon known for his wealth and sharp business mind. He stepped forward, looking at the girl with gentle eyes. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Imani," she said. "My little brother's sick, and we ran out of milk. I just wanted to help." Dalton smiled and handed the cashier a card. "Give her what she needs, and give her a few extra things." As Imani walked out, clutching a bag of food and a full heart, she turned back to Dalton and whispered, "I won't forget this, I promise." Imani grew up in the rough part of South Chicago, where opportunities were rare and crime was common. But she never forgot the man in the suit who helped her that day. She told the story to everyone who would listen, at school, at church, to her teachers. It became her source of hope and motivation. Despite the odds, she worked hard. Every summer, she got a job, sometimes 2. She helped take care of her brother, who eventually recovered, and supported her single mother by doing odd chores and studying late into the night. Imani earned a scholarship to a prestigious prep school, then later to a university, where she studied business and economics. In her dorm room, she kept a framed picture of a milk carton. "I made a promise," she would tell herself when things got hard. "One day I'll find him, and I'll repay him." Years passed, and Imani's star rose. She launched a nonprofit organization focused on helping underprivileged youth, especially those in foster care. She also opened a food security initiative in her neighborhood. By 30, she was already making headlines in national news outlets as the woman who kept her promise. Imani never stopped wondering about Christopher Dalton. After graduating, she began a quiet search. She started with the store where they met, but it had long since changed owners. No one remembered the day. She contacted real estate agencies and followed local news articles about Dalton's business ventures. But oddly, he seemed to have disappeared from the spotlight after a major business deal went bad years ago. Rumors said he went bankrupt. Others said he left the country. But Imani didn't believe that. One afternoon during a community speaking event, she told the full story publicly for the first time. The video went viral. "I owe everything to a stranger named Christopher Dalton," she said to a crowd of hundreds. "If you know where he is, tell him I kept my promise." 2 weeks later, an email landed in her inbox. Subject, "I know him." It came from a retired grocery clerk in a small town 3 hours from Chicago. He said Dalton had moved there under a different name and now lived quietly on a small ranch outside town. Section 4, A Helicopter and a Hug, expanded. Imani didn't hesitate. The next morning, she chartered a private helicopter with the logo of her foundation on the side. Cameras followed her journey as she flew over the countryside, heading toward the little town where the mystery man lived. When the chopper landed in a field behind a modest farmhouse, an older man stepped out of the barn. He had a limp and wore dusty jeans, a flannel shirt, and a look of disbelief on his face. "Are you Imani?" he asked. She stepped forward, now in her mid-30s, dressed in a smart coat and heels. "Yes. Are you Christopher Dalton?" He nodded slowly, eyes brimming with tears. "I never thought anyone would remember." Imani smiled and handed him an envelope. Inside was a donation receipt worth $500,000 in his name to a children's food charity. "This is me paying you back, with interest." They hugged long and tight, the wind from the helicopter whipping around them. Reporters captured every second. The story made national headlines. Milk and a Miracle trended across every platform. Talk shows invited Imani and Dalton to speak. A major network offered to turn the story into a film. But for Imani, it wasn't about fame. She expanded her programs across 10 cities, naming the new initiative the Dalton Promise. Christopher, once forgotten and broken by business losses, now found a new purpose. He joined Imani's board of directors and began mentoring troubled youth. Their bond became a symbol that one small act of kindness could ripple into something much larger. That no promise, however small, goes unnoticed, and that sometimes the reward isn't just in keeping a promise, but in inspiring others to do the same. In her keynote address at a national leadership summit, Imani stood before a crowd of 20,000 people and said, "A man gave me milk when I needed it most. I gave him hope when he needed it more. Kindness is currency, and I'll keep spending it for the rest of my life." The crowd erupted in applause. But no one clapped harder than Christopher Dalton, sitting proudly in the front row, his eyes never leaving the girl he once helped. Now the woman who helped the world. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this every day. Stay tuned.